Good morning everyone. This is S. Madhavilata, Contract Faculty in Mathematics, Dr. BRR Government College, Jadcherla. Today topic is subgroup. Before that, what is a complex? A non-empty subset of a group G is called complex. Means G is a group. 1 minus 1, I minus I is a group. Then H equal to I minus I is a subset of G. So H is a complex of G. We say that H is a complex of G. One more example, G equal to 1 minus 1, I minus I is a group. H equal to 1 minus 1 is a subset of G. So H is called a complex of G. Okay. Next. Now, what is a subgroup? Upasamuham. A non-empty subset H of a group G is itself a group under the operation of G. Then we say that H is a subgroup of G. Means H is a complex of G and also H is a group under the operation of G. Then we said that H is a subgroup of G. H is called a subgroup of G. It is denoted by like this. H is a subgroup of G. So, example, G equals 1 minus 1 I minus I is a group with respect to multiplication. H equals 1 minus 1 is a group with respect to multiplication, and H is a subset of G, means H is a complex of G. Then H is called a subgroup of G. Now suppose we take H equals I minus I. It is a subset of G, but H is not a group under multiplication because here no identities exist. One does not belongs to H. So H is not a group under multiplication. So we say that H is not a subgroup of G. Next theorem. G is a group, H is a non-empty subset of G, then H is a subgroup of G if and only if for all A comma B belongs to H implies AB belongs to H. Second one, for all A belongs to H implies A inverse belongs to H. Proof. G is a group, H is a non-empty subset of G. Now necessary condition, let H be a necessary condition. Let H be a subgroup of G. Now we will prove that these two conditions, for all A comma B belongs to H implies AB belongs to H. Second one, for all A belongs to H implies A inverse belongs to H. Next, we know that H is a subgroup of G. So, first condition, from closure property, what is closure property of H? A comma B belongs to H implies AB belongs to H. So, by closure property, first condition proved. Next, second condition, by inverse property. What is inverse property? For all A belongs to H implies A inverse belongs to H. So, second condition proved. Now, sufficient condition. Sufficient condition, let AB belongs to H for all A comma B belongs to H. Second condition, A inverse belongs to H for all A belongs to H. Now we will prove that H is a subgroup of G. So by closure property, from given condition 1, for all A comma B belongs to H implies AB belongs to H. So H satisfies closure property. Next, fourth condition, fourth condition inverse property. Now from second condition, here given second condition, for all A belongs to H implies A inverse belongs to H. Therefore, for every element has inverse in H. Next, associative property. What is associative property? All elements in H are all in group G. Therefore, H satisfies associative property. Last one, identity property. What is identity property? Given condition 2, A belongs to H implies A inverse belongs to H. So, by closure property, A comma A inverse belongs to H implies A into A inverse belongs to H, implies E belongs to A into A inverse is E belongs to H. Therefore, E is an identity element in H. Next, H satisfies identity property. Therefore, H satisfies closure property, identity property and inverse property, associative property also. Therefore, H is a group under given condition. Therefore, H is a subgroup of G. So, this is the first theorem. Next theorem, let G be a group and H be a non-empty subset of G, then H is a subgroup of G if and only if A comma B belongs to H implies AB inverse belongs to H. So, this is an important theorem. For all A comma B belongs to H implies AB inverse belongs to H. So, proof. First, given what is given, G is a group, H is a subgroup of H is a non-empty subset of G. Now necessary condition. What is the necessary condition? Let H be a subgroup of G. Now we will prove that AB inverse belongs to H implies A comma B belongs to H. Next, so by inverse property let B belongs to H implies B inverse belongs to H. By closure property, A comma B inverse belongs to H implies AB inverse belongs to H. So, AB inverse belongs to H for all A comma B belongs to H. So, here we proved by inverse property B inverse belongs to H. Now by closure property A comma B inverse belongs to H implies AB inverse belongs to H. So therefore AB inverse belongs to H for all A comma B belongs to H. So by this is the necessary condition. Now we will prove that sufficient condition. What is sufficient condition? First, let AB inverse belongs to H, comma for all A comma B belongs to H. Now we will prove that H is a subgroup of G. First, identity property A belongs to H and A belongs to H. So that implies by the condition A into A inverse belongs to H means A comma B belongs to H implies AB inverse belongs to H. In that way, A comma A belongs to H implies A into A inverse belongs to H. A into A inverse, what is that one? E. E belongs to H. Therefore, E is an identity in H. Therefore, H satisfies identity property. Next, inverse property. What is inverse property? E belongs to H, A comma A belongs to H implies E into A inverse belongs to H. That implies by identity property A inverse belongs to H. Therefore, A belongs to H implies A inverse belongs to H. Therefore, for every element have inverse in H. Therefore, H satisfies inverse property. Next, closure property. So, by inverse property, we can write B inverse belongs to H. So, A comma B inverse belongs to H implies A B inverse whole inverse belongs to H. So B inverse whole inverse is B. So that implies AB belongs to H. Therefore, for all A comma B belongs to H, implies AB belongs to H. Therefore, H satisfies closure property. Next, associative property. All elements in H are in G. So therefore G satisfies associative property. So H satisfies closure property, associative property, identity property and inverse property. Therefore H is a group. Therefore H is a subgroup of G. So this is the important theorem. Next theorem. H is a non-empty complex in a group G. H is a subgroup in G if and only if H into H inverse subset are equal to H. Proof. G is a group, H is a complex, non-empty complex means complex in G. Now necessary condition, let H be a subgroup of G. Now we will prove that H into H inverse subset are equal to H. Let AB inverse belongs to H into H inverse. So then A belongs to H, B belongs to H. Since H is a subgroup of G, by inverse property B inverse belongs to H. A belongs to H, B inverse belongs to H implies AB inverse belongs to H. From 1 and 2, H into H inverse subset are equal to H. So necessary condition proved. Now we will prove that sufficient condition also. Let H into H inverse subset are equal to H. Now we will prove that H is a subgroup of G. So let A comma B belongs to H. Therefore AB inverse belongs to H into H inverse. Means since H into H inverse belongs to subset are equal to H, so here AB inverse belongs to H. So therefore AB inverse belongs to H for all A comma B belongs to H. Just now we proved if H is a subgroup of G if and only if AB inverse belongs to H. So therefore H is a subgroup of G. This is a necessary condition. Now we will prove that sufficient condition also. So here already necessary condition here proved. Now here sufficient condition proved. So next theorem. H is a non-empty complex in a group G. H is a subgroup of G if and only if H inverse equal to H. Proof. G is a group, H is a complex in G. Necessary condition, let H be a subgroup of G. Now we will prove that H into H inverse equal to H. We know that just now we proved H into H inverse subset are equal to H. Next, let E be an identity element in G. So that implies E is also identity in H because H is a subgroup of G. So let H belongs to H. Now consider H equal to HE. That implies E equal to, we can write E inverse also. So H equal to HE inverse. So that is belongs to H into H inverse. So that implies H belongs to H into H inverse. Here what is H? H is an element in H. Therefore H is subset are equal to H into H inverse. Therefore from 1 and 2 AH equal to H into H inverse means A is subset are equal to B, B is subset are equal to A implies A equal to B. So H equal to H into H inverse. Next sufficient condition, let H into H inverse equal to H. Now we will prove that H is a subgroup of G. Since H into H inverse equal to H implies H into H inverse subset are equal to H, and H is subset are equal to H into H inverse. So we know that H into H inverse subset are equal to H implies H is a subgroup of G. So we proved sufficient condition also. Next theorem. If H is a subgroup of G, then H into H inverse equal to H into H equal to H. So proof. G is a group, H is a subgroup of G. Now we will prove that H into H inverse, H into H equal to H. Let X belongs to H into H. So let X equal to H1, H2. H1 comma H2 belongs to H. Since H is a subgroup of G. So H1 comma H2 belongs to H implies H1 into H2 belongs to H by closure property. So that implies H1 into H2 equal to X. X belongs to H. Next, that implies what is X? X belongs to H into H. So that implies H into H subset are equal to capital H. Next, let H3 belongs to H. So identity element in H is E, means E is an identity in H. So H3 comma E belongs to H. So consider H3 equal to H3 into E, that is belongs to H into H. So H3 belongs to H into H. So H3 is an element in H. Therefore H is subset are equal to H into H. Next, from 1 and 2. 1 is H into H subset are equal to H. 2 is H is subset are equal to H into H. From 1 and 2, you can write H into H equal to H. So if therefore H is a subgroup of G, then H into H equal to H. Next theorem. If H comma K are subgroups in G, then HK is a subgroup of G if and only if HK equal to KH. So G is a group, H is a subgroup of G. We know that K is also subgroup of G. Now what is necessary condition? Let HK be a subgroup of G. Now we will prove that HK equal to KH. Since HK is a subgroup of G, implies we know that what is that H is a subgroup of G implies H inverse equal to H inverse. Same condition we apply here. HK is a subgroup of G implies HK inverse equal to HK. So HK in whole inverse equal to K inverse into H inverse. So K inverse into H inverse equal to HK. K inverse equal to K, H inverse equal to H. So KH equal to HK. Therefore HK is a subgroup of G implies HK equal to KH. Now sufficient condition, let HK equal to KH or KH equal to HK. Now we will prove HK is a subgroup of G. It is enough to prove HK into HK inverse equal to HK. Means like H is just now we proved H is a subgroup of G implies H into H inverse equal to H. So consider HK into HK whole inverse equal to HK into HK whole inverse is K inverse into H inverse. Next, H is a here by associative property H and K both are subgroups of G. So by associative property we can change bracket. So H into K inverse equal to into H, that equal to, again we know that K is a subgroup of G implies K inverse equal to K. So here put K into K inverse is K. Again by associative property H into H inverse K. So that will be equal to H into H inverse into K. H into H inverse again H. So H. So therefore HK into HK whole inverse equal to HK. Therefore HK is a subgroup of G. This is a sufficient condition. So next important theorem. H1 comma H2 are subgroups in a group G. Then H1 intersection H2 is also a subgroup in G. Proof. G is a group. H1 comma H2 are subgroups in G. So E is an identity in G. E belongs to H1 and E belongs to H2 implies E belongs to H1 intersection H2. So therefore H1 intersection H2 is a non-empty set. Now we will prove that H1 intersection H2 is a subgroup of G. So it is enough to prove that A belongs to H1 intersection H2, B belongs to H1 intersection H2 implies AB inverse belongs to H1 intersection H2. So A belongs to H1 intersection H2 means A belongs to H1 and A belongs to H2. B belongs to H1 intersection H2 implies B belongs to H1 and B belongs to H2. Next, since H1 comma H2 are the two subgroups of G. So H1 is a subgroup of G implies A comma B belongs to H1 implies A B inverse belongs to H1. We know that. Again H2 is a subgroup of G. We know that A B belongs to A comma B belongs to H2 implies A B inverse belongs to H2. So since A B inverse belongs to H1 comma A B inverse belongs to H2 implies A B inverse belongs to H1 intersection H2. So therefore A comma B belongs to H1 intersection H2 implies AB inverse belongs to H1 intersection H2. Therefore H1 intersection H2 is a subgroup of G. So we proved what is H1 comma H2 are two subgroups in a group G. Then H1 intersection H2 is also a subgroup in G. So next theorem. Let H1 comma H2 are two subgroups of a group G. Then H1 union H2 is a subgroup of G if and only if H1 is subset or equal to H2 or H2 is a subset or equal to H1. Proof. G is a group. H1 comma H2 are two subgroups of G. Necessary condition. Let H1 union H2 be a subgroup of G. Now we will prove H1 subset are equal to H2 or H2 subset are equal to H1. So if possible, let H1 does not subset are equal to H2 or H2 does not subset are equal to H1. So if H1 does not subset are equal to H2 implies A does not belongs to H1 and A does not belongs to H2. If H2 does not subset are equal to H1 implies B belongs to H2 and B does not belongs to H1. So from 1 and 2 here from 1 and 2 A belongs to H1, B belongs to H2. So A belongs to, we can write A belongs to H1 union H2 and B belongs to H1 union H2. Since H1 union H2 is a subgroup of G, by closure property A comma B belongs to H1 union H2 implies AB belongs to H1 union H2. So AB belongs to H1 union H2 implies AB belongs to H1 or AB belongs to H2. Let AB belongs to H1. So therefore, since H1 is a subgroup of G, by inverse property we can write A inverse A belongs to H implies A inverse belongs to H1. So A inverse belongs to H1 comma AB belongs to H1. By closure property, A inverse into AB belongs to H1. By associative property, A inverse into A into B belongs to H1. That implies A into A inverse is E. E into B belongs to H1. That implies B belongs to H1. This is a contradiction to equation 2. What is equation 2? A belongs to H1 but B does not belongs to H1. So here B belongs to H1. This is a contradiction. Again, let AB belongs to H2. Here AB belongs to H2. So since H2 is a subgroup of G, B belongs to H2. By inverse property, B inverse belongs to H2. So AB belongs to H2, B inverse belongs to H2. By closure property, AB into B inverse belongs to H2. So A into B inverse belongs to H2. A, that implies A into B inverse is E. So AE belongs to H2. So AE, by identity property, A belongs to H2. Again, this is a contradiction to equation number 1. What is equation number 1? B belongs to H2 and A does not belongs to H2. But here A belongs to H2, here B belongs to H1. So our supposition, what is our supposition? H1 is does not subset or equal to H2 or H2 does not subset or equal to H1 is wrong. Therefore, H1 subset or equal to H2 or H2 subset or equal to H1. So this is necessary condition. So now we will prove that sufficient condition. Let H1 subset are equal to H2 or H2 subset are equal to H1. Now we will prove that H1 union H2 is a subgroup of G. So H1 subset H2 implies subset are equal to H2 implies H1 union H2 equal to H2. So therefore, since H2 is a subgroup of G, therefore H1 union H2 is also subgroup of G. So we proved sufficient condition also. Therefore, if H1 comma H2 are two subgroups of a group G, then H1 union H2 is a subgroup of G if and only if H1 is subset or equal to H2 or H2 is subset or equal to H1. Now see one definition. Normalizer of an element. So G is a group, A belongs to G, set X belongs to G such that AX equal to XA is called normalizer of A in G. So AX equal to XA. So here this set A is called normalizer of A in G. It is denoted by NA. So example, G equal to plus or minus 1 plus or minus I plus or minus J plus or minus K. So N of 1 is G, means all you can write 1 into I equal to I into 1. 1 into minus I equal to minus 1 into I. So all elements in G will come. Means N of 1 equal to how much? Plus or minus 1 plus or minus I plus or minus J plus or minus K. So normalizer of 1 is G. In that same way, N of minus 1 equal to also G. Now here N of I. N of I ని కనుక మనం చూసినట్టయితే 1 into I equal to I into 1 రాయొచ్చు. నెక్స్ట్ -1 into I equal to I into -1 రాయొచ్చు. We can write. Suppose I into I equal to I into again I రాయొచ్చు. minus I into I equal to I into minus I. So here 1 both are equal. ఇప్పుడు ఒకవేళ మనం J కనుక తీసుకుంటే I into J equal to how much? K. అదే ఒకవేళ J into I తీసుకుంటే minus K. సో I into J నాట్ ఈక్వల్ టు J into I. కాబట్టి నార్మలైజర్లో ఈ ఎలిమెంట్ రాదు, ఏది J అనే ఎలిమెంట్ రాదు. సేమ్ మైనస్ J కూడా తీసుకుంటే I into minus J ఈక్వల్ టు మైనస్ K, మైనస్ J into I ఈక్వల్ టు ప్లస్ K. అంటే ఇక్కడ కూడా I into minus J డస్ నాట్ ఈక్వల్ టు minus J into I. So same in that way K also will not come. So n of I equal to plus or minus I plus or minus 1. Same way, in that same way n of J equal to plus or minus 1 plus or minus J. So n of K equal to plus or minus 1 plus or minus K. So note EA equal to AE equal to A implies E belongs to NA. Therefore NA is not equal to 5. N of A not equal to 5. Theorem. G is a group, A belongs to G, then N of A is a subgroup of G. So normalizer of A is a subgroup of G అని prove చేయాలి. So proof, G is a group, A belongs to G. By the definition of normalizer, we can write N of A equal to set X belongs to G such that XA equal to AX equal to XA. So now we will prove that NA is a subgroup of G. So A belongs to G, G is a group. By identity property AE equal to EA equal to A means that implies E belongs to N of A. Therefore N of A is a non-empty set. Now let X comma Y belongs to N of A. So X belongs to N of A implies AX equal to XA. We know that Y belongs to N of A implies AY equal to YA. So next XY into A equal to, by associative property X into YA. So that implies YA we can write AY, X into AY. Again associative property, by associative property XA into Y. So again we can write XA equal to AX. So AX into Y. By associative property A into XY. So therefore XY into A equal to A into XY. So XY belongs to N of A. So since X belongs to N of A implies AX equal to XA. Multiply with X inverse on left and right side, both sides we can multiply. So here X inverse AX X inverse equal to X inverse XA into X inverse. So by associative property we can write X inverse A into X inverse, that equal to X inverse X into AX inverse. So X inverse A, X into X inverse equal to E, that equal to X into X inverse equal to E. So A into X inverse. So X into X inverse into A equal to A into X inverse. So that implies X inverse belongs to N of A. So fourth theorem. From 3 and 4 X comma Y belongs to N of A implies XY belongs to N of A. So that implies X inverse belongs to N of A. So therefore NA is a subgroup of G. How we can say that Subgroup of G means for all A comma B belongs to H implies AB belongs to H and A inverse belongs to H. Then we say that H is a subgroup of G. So in that way we can say N of A is a subgroup of G. So thank you.